Good morning. Thank you for taking the time to meet with me today. I am here to present a sustainable and community-centered fundraising plan for East Elementary. It's one that not only supports our technology program, but it also addresses the inequity that currently exists between our campuses, even within our district. I believe that with the right strategies in place, we can build a model that's both inclusive and long-lasting, benefiting all of our students for years to come, and honestly, all of our stakeholders. Um, so this is addressing inequity in fundraising at East Elementary School, and I am Sarah Belval, the principal. So, as you know, nearly 2 years ago, West Elementary successfully lobbied its Parent Teacher Association, its PTA, to fund technology for their classrooms. Unfortunately, East and South Elementary have not had the same success in the past few years. As you know, we've tried, but we haven't really gotten there to the same degree, at least. So I believe that the difference lies not really, in the leadership or the effort, especially those of, the parents and the um, community and the teachers, really in any of its stakeholders, because we've put forth a really great effort, but rather in the socioeconomic disparities that affect um, our parent communities. So this has resulted in unequal student experiences kind of across the district, and it's a fundamental fairness issue. Our children should not be limited by the zip code that they live in. So, in West Elementary, they got smart boards in every classroom. East and South, we kind of are lacking those resources right now, and we believe the cause is the disparity in income and our ability to fundraise as well. So the goal of the plan is very simple. It's to give our students equitable access to the same technology as their peers at West Elementary. Um, but we must do so by creating a really sustainable fundraising model that foundationally empowers our families and our local partners, regardless of income. So this isn't about a quick fix, it's about cultivating that consistent community involvement that grows stronger over time. So the goals of our fundraising plan are to provide that equitable access to technology at our campus specifically, and then to build a sustainable community-focused fundraising structure, um, one that will benefit us and all of our students and stakeholders, um, and kind of be that model for other elementary schools, and then to empower families and local businesses to just contribute meaningfully to the plan. So in order to develop the right plan, we first have to understand who it is that we're working with. While our families might not have that, those deep financial pockets, they do have an abundance of community pride and they are very resilient. So we also have very active churches, small businesses, and civic groups that are really eager to support schools when they are given the opportunity. A successful plan needs to reflect their realities. It needs to honor their time and it needs to amplify their strengths. So we're looking to really um, look at our churches and local businesses, as well as our civic groups, for a lot of our support there. So one of the key steps is to really reinvigorate our PTA. So we would start by hosting welcome nights with food, student performances, information booths, different activities. We would provide translation services. We could even look into providing some sort of child care, for kind of all ages, just to ensure that everyone feels welcome, but also that parents and community members really have that time to um, deepen their understanding and their networking, and then just their ability to, spend time with others and get a feel for our purpose and our plan. So we would also create micro volunteer roles that require just, like a single hour a month, so that working families can still participate and feel like they're, being active and helpful, and a part of our community. So it's more about lowering the barrier to engagement and showing, that every small contribution matters. So the next thing we would do would be to organize um, low cost, high impact fundraisers that really fit into our community. Um, Things like a family movie night in the gym would be a great way to raise funds and build school spirit, while, maintaining a lower cost than a lot of fundraisers. Um, Penny wars make giving accessible to every child. Those are always really fun when they're school wide and, you're having competitions, healthy, fun competitions throughout the school. Um, Local raffles and student-centered events, things like readathons, art auctions. Those things help families feel really personally connected to our school, our community, and these events also serve to just reinforce the school as a hub for the entire community. Um, Something that plays a big role, and is kind of the heart of where we are at. We would also do things like seek out local businesses to sponsor classrooms or donate goods and services. And then in return, we would promote them in newsletters on our website, during events on social media, that type of thing. And these types of relationships, they really strengthen the school's presence in the community, and they build long-term partnerships. So when businesses, can see their name attached to really positive school outcomes, they're more likely to reinvest, and, to hopefully continue to give and give more at that. So, we believe that local business partnerships are going to play a key role in meeting our goals. We are also lucky that we have churches and civic groups, in our community that have members who are students, and that they are also very eager to help. So we'll invite them to adopt a grade level or sponsor specific needs, things like that. We can partner with groups like Rotary or Lions Club, and, it brings both volunteers and funding. Uh, and then we would, look at hosting an annual day of service where the community as a whole, all of these kinds of clubs and churches, and just all community members can come together to support our campus and our classroom setup, um, and help us, fulfill our plan. These connections can serve as mentorship pipelines and volunteer bases for the future as well. So there's lots of roles that this could play. So in tandem with fundraising, um, we'll pursue targeted grants as well. Many organizations offer small classroom specific technology grants. So we would likely do something like building a grant squad of volunteers and parent writers, or vice versa, to pursue these, very systematically. So over time, even small grants can add up to substantial improvements, especially when they are aligned with our long-term goals. So in order to measure success, we will track increases in PTA involvement, local dollars raised, and business partnerships that we secure. These metrics will ensure that we're making progress towards sustainable funding, community involvement, and we would also document, which strategies are the most successful. So in the future, they can be replicated or, scaled in future years. But also they can help us figure out which directions to go in in events that are similar, as well as what doesn't work. So looking at the things that don't work and acting to take steps to find something that works a lot better. So our metrics for success are a 50% increase in PTA participation within 6 months, $5,000 raised from local fundraisers, hopefully in year one, and then securing at least 5 local business or community partnerships. Uh, so I think those are very attainable goals, especially if we are actively, working through this plan and really holding ourselves accountable for the actions and for the steps that it takes to get to our goal. I mean, as you know, true equity really goes beyond the dollar amount. It really means making every single student and family feel included and be included. So, we'll do things like elevate student voice in our fundraising campaigns, and ensure that our events don't overburden those already, thinly stretched families. Um, the inclusion, would be reflected in our language, our visuals, our outreach. So it's not just about raising money, it's about building a culture of belonging, a culture of celebration, and really just making every stakeholder feel like they are a part of this plan, and like they can help us attain our goals. Um, so, doing things like really building that student pride, giving them a voice, avoiding, fundraising fatigue, so spreading them out, but being smart about it, and then being just very inclusive in the way that we interact, uh, I think are really important in addressing the equity of our plans. So this is our kind of immediate timeline. Um, In August, we would relaunch the PTA with a major community kickoff, and get our planning prepared for that, over the summer, with some ideas. And then we would move to September, in which we would host our first fundraiser. Um, Fall will well, our first fundraiser, which would be the movie night that I kind of discussed earlier. So we would start with something that is highly enticing for families and children of all ages to come to. Um, so you really pull them in with something that they're all interested in, and you build that community up front. And while it might be a fundraiser that brings in lower cost than future fundraisers, you're kind of setting that foundation, that tone, um, at your first larger event. So then the rest of fall would focus on community partnerships, targeted mini grants, and um, that those business outreach, just getting out there and making sure that people know our plans and know our goals, and partnering with them. So just by creating these really small wins early on, we can build momentum and confidence in our plan's effectiveness, as well as in our school community. So every child at East Elementary deserves the same opportunities as their peers across the district. While we may not have the same financial base, we do have a really powerful community that is ready to act on helping us meet our goals for our students. So with your support and the visibility just from district leadership, this plan, I think, could really truly thrive. I am confident that together we could build a model that bridges the equity gap and uplifts every student. Thank you for your time, and I welcome any questions you may have.